Welcome to Module 26, Reconstruction. In our last module of the semester, we will look at the period between 1865 and 1877, the years following the Civil War, known as Reconstruction. After the Civil War ended, the United States faced many difficult decisions as they put the nation back together and began to envision a country where millions of formerly enslaved people joined the nation as free and equal citizens. In the first part of our module, we will look at how freed people themselves defined freedom. How did they piece families back together after the war? How did they envision their future, and what steps did they take to safeguard that vision? We'll examine the role of the Freedmen's Bureau, the first federal agency dedicated to social welfare, in providing aid and protection to freed men and women after the Civil War. Then we'll move to examine two distinct methods of Reconstruction. The first, known as Presidential Reconstruction, began in 1865 and was led by President Andrew Johnson, who assumed the presidency after Lincoln's assassination. Johnson held deep-rooted racist views. He did not see any place for Black people in Reconstruction or in the future of the nation itself. He pardoned nearly all white Southerners who took an oath of allegiance, restoring all of their political and property rights apart from slave property. Under presidential Reconstruction, former Confederates assumed their old positions of power and instituted laws known as Black Codes. Under Black Codes, formerly enslaved people were granted certain rights, such as legalized marriage and property ownership, but were denied the right to vote, the right to serve on juries, and the right to testify against whites. Additionally, all freedmen had to carry papers proving that they had means of employment. If they had no such proof, they could be arrested and fined. Essentially, the Black Codes represented former Confederates' efforts to reinstate the antebellum economic and social order in the South. Radical Republicans in Congress responded to this by passing several pieces of legislation over Johnson's veto and developing the 14th Amendment. Johnson was impeached, but not removed from office. With Radical Reconstruction and the 14th and 15th Amendments granting equal protection and citizenship for all former slaves and Black men the right to vote, the South was transformed from an all-white, pro-slavery Democratic stronghold to a collection of Republican-led states with Blacks in power for the first time in American history. 2,000 African Americans held public office during the late 1860s and early 1870s. We'll end the module with a look at the violent backlash to this progress. By 1867, violence in the South was organized and motivated by politics. We'll look at the secret vigilante societies which sprang up with the aim of preventing Blacks from voting and removing them from positions of power. The most infamous group was the Ku Klux Klan. The end of Reconstruction was brought by pervasive campaigns of organized vigilante violence and the withdrawal of federal troops from the South in 1877. In the required readings for this module, you'll hear how a formerly enslaved man defined his freedom in a letter to his former master, read an excerpt from the Mississippi Black Code, and view 3 political cartoons which illuminate the progress and violence which characterizes Reconstruction. Slido polls can be answered in the module's discussion. This is our last one, everyone. Great job this semester, and good luck with the last week.